Hello everyone, we'll get started with this Accounting 2 course, Managerial Accounting. There are 5 different parts to this chapter. It'll be easier just to break them down into 5 smaller videos. We're going to identify managers, the manager's 3 primary responsibilities. We're going to distinguish financial accounting from managerial accounting. We're going to describe the roles and the skills required of the management accountants within the organization. We're going to describe the role of the Institution of Management Accountants, or the IMA, and apply it to ethical standards. And then finally, we're going to discuss the business trends and regulations affecting management accounting. Okay, so the first question here is, what is managerial accounting? As the name implies, the name includes management or managerial, right? So the focus on managerial accounting, unlike financial accounting, the focus of managerial accounting is all about what decisions do management need to make in order to be effective in what they do. Financial accounting focused on external parties. We focused on financial accounting, we focused on creditors, shareholders, governmental agencies, but managerial accounting really focuses on management and what types of decisions they need to make. So therefore, management accounting involves partnering in management decision making. It involves devising plan and performance management systems, and it involves providing expertise in financial reporting and control. All right, so the 3 responsibilities, let's take a look at this graphic representation. The decision-making process really involves, in terms of management, involves the planning, the directing, and the controlling. Whenever you're running a business, the first thing you have to do is plan out what's going to happen for that day, for that month, for that year, for that 3 to 5 years. You plan out what you want to happen. You then start executing, and that's the direction. You start directing individuals or those who are involved with your organization to move forward consistent with that plan. And then the controlling element now says, okay, well, we had a plan in place. We've executed, or at least attempted to execute that plan. Let's figure out whether we actually fulfilled our obligations, whether we met our expectations, if we set up specific goals, whatever it is. And that controlling element is really the part of evaluating how you did for the year. So this information is then going to be brought back in terms of feedback. The feedback is going to go in 2 directions for us. The feedback is going to go back to planning, so that when we're planning again for the next day, for the next month, for the next year, we take that into consideration. But the feedback is also going to go directly towards those who are executing and say, well, what kinds of adjustments do we need to make? So feedback is important to ensure that we have our planning corrections, our directing corrections, and then ultimately reviewing back again and see how we're doing. Okay, so now we're going to focus on the 3 primary responsibilities: planning, setting goals and objectives to achieve them; directing, overseeing the company's day-to-day operations; and controlling, evaluating the results of the business operations and making adjustments as needed. So now you can see what the textbook is expecting when you're looking at these specific terms. We'll go ahead and combine learning objective 1 and 2. That first video would be a little bit too short. Okay, so let's look at distinguishing financial accounting from managerial accounting. So for example, who are the primary users of information? Well, managerial accounting says internal users such as managers. I bet you that's why they use managerial in the name of managerial accounting, right? How about for financial? Well, like I mentioned to you earlier, external users, creditors, stockholders, and government regulators. Those are the primary users of the information. So when we're looking at managerial accounting, the focus is on management. For financial accounting, the focus is on external parties. What is the purpose of the information? Well, for management, is to help them direct and control business operations and make better decisions. Should I allow my team to go and start working overtime? Should we change what we're going to be producing? Are there ways we can do things more efficient? Those are management decisions. From the external users, though, those decisions are a little bit different. The decisions are really about whether or not you are going to loan some company, whether or not you're going to loan some money to a company, or whether or not you want to invest as a shareholder. Those are the external user party type decisions. What is the primary accounting product? Any internal accounting report deemed worthwhile by management. So we've really pretty much have an open rein here. There's no restrictions on here. Whatever management needs, we will find a way to provide it. In terms of financial accounting, well, it was all about the production of financial statements. What must be included in the report and how must it be formatted? Well, again, we're free rein on the managerial accounting. We can pretty much do whatever we need to do in order to provide information to management. Management determines that what it wants in a report and how it wants it formatted. Reports are prepared only when management believes the benefit of using the report exceeds the cost of preparing the report. So this is purely whatever management really needs and wants. From a financial accounting perspective, we know specifically what we need to be providing. There are going to be reports that have to be consistent with generally accepted accounting principles. Okay, and that's what we learned all about in Accounting 1. What is the underlying basis of the information? Let's take a look. While some information is based on past transactions, managerial accounting focuses on the future. It provides information on both external and internal transactions. So one thing that we can distinguish between management accounting and financial accounting is although we use historical information from the past, the emphasis is on making decisions today and making decisions for the future. So therefore, the emphasis is on all three areas: the past, the present, and the future. Unlike financial accounting, on the other hand, financial accounting, the focus is purely on the past. It's historical in nature. We're trying to figure out what exactly occurred in the past, whether it was the last month, the last quarter, the last fiscal year, and preparing reports that demonstrate or can display or portray what exactly occurred during that period of time. Continuing on with the differences between managerial and financial, the issue is what information characteristic is emphasized? Well, in managerial accounting, the emphasis is relevancy. In other words, we want to make sure that whatever information we're providing to whoever's using the information, that it's relevant. It's something that they can definitely use to make decisions. In terms of financial accounting, the emphasis is more on reliability and objectivity. The reason? External parties are using this information and they want to make sure that whatever you're providing them is accurate. It's something that they can rely upon. What business unit is the report about? Well, for management, it can really be broken down into different segments, including products, customers, geographical regions, departments, and divisions. So you're going to find that management accounting will sometimes focus, or their focus can be a lot more narrow than what you're used to if you've recently taken financial accounting. Financial accounting, very, very clear, the focus is on the whole company. How do we understand how this whole company is doing? Because we're going to invest in the whole company, not in any one specific department or division. It's going to be the entire company. How often are the reports prepared? Well, from a management perspective, they can be done at any point in time. They can be done daily. It's whatever management needs. From a financial accounting, usually your reports are generated quarterly. The SEC requires quarterly financial statements to be produced by publicly traded organizations. And for sure, annually. and that's an annual financial statement has to be prepared and distributed. Now, even though you may generate a financial report on a monthly basis, who's that for? That's going to be for management. So you do produce financial reports for management, but primarily to make good decisions and to make adjustments to the direction that they're going. Does anyone verify the information? Well, from a management perspective, you do have internal individuals, maybe an even internal audit group that can look and verify numbers. But for the most part, it's all about the organization and making sure you're providing the best information to management. However, when you're providing information to external parties, there has to be an independent certified public accountant who comes in and reviews the information, audits the reports, and comes to a conclusion so that that CPA can express an opinion. And then the last section here, issue is the information required by an outside group, governmental agency for managerial accounting? Nope. Nobody's telling us what we can or cannot do. It's just simply, it is what it is. From a financial accounting perspective, I mentioned to you the SEC, they are the watchdog of publicly traded organizations. And so those companies who produce financial reports, they must be consistent with the guidelines of the SEC. The SEC dictates that these financial statements must be consistent with generally accepted accounting principles. Is there any concern over how the reports will affect employee behavior? From management perspective, absolutely. You want to make sure that you have an accounting reporting system that helps to even drive the employees to make better decisions, to do things that are consistent with the objectives of the organization. So yeah, you have to, whatever you're putting together, you have to look at it from that perspective. Will this help individuals? Will this help supervisors? Will it help management make better decisions? Yes, definitely management is taken into consideration. Now, from an external party perspective, we don't really care how this affects, when you're providing information to external parties, the objective is not about how this information is going to affect employees, because then you have a conflict, because your third parties are relying on that information and they're using that to make their best decisions. So if you mislead them, that could be some big problems for the organization. Okay, we'll do 1 and 2 together and we'll start on objective 3 on the next video.